Repaving a bridge isn't unusual unless it just so happens to be the state's largest elevated roadway, and it's done in such a way that rush hour commuters never see the ubiquitous orange traffic cone. Then it makes history. The Kansas Department of Transportation took on the monumental task of resurfacing the I-135 flyover during lighter traffic hours over the course of 3 evenings. The project encompassed nearly 20 acres of pavement, running 2.4 miles through North Wichita. Such a feat of road construction would not have been possible if it weren't for the Unitex by Dayton Superior Type 3 DOT epoxy overlay. This time-saving product allowed crews from the Wichita-based Wildcat Construction Company to depart from the typical repaving routine.
We shut down traffic at 7 o'clock in the evening. And then we move all the equipment up on the bridge, clean the surfaces that have been contaminated during the day with traffic, and then we mix the epoxy, put it down, and we have to put that down in time for it to cure and get sufficient hardness before traffic's opened up at 6 a.m. the next morning.
Not an orange cone in sight. Here's the process commuters didn't see. On the first night, the surface is blasted with steel to abrade the top surface, creating a clean, roughened profile, allowing the Type 3 DOT epoxy overlay to bond. After the next day's traffic, a quicker, lighter brush blasting produced a clean surface for the epoxy overlay application. Mixing the epoxy is simple. The two components are combined in a 1-to-1 ratio. This mixture is thoroughly blended for a few minutes with a low-speed drill. The mixture is then poured out and smoothed onto the roughened road surface. The aggregate, which is either angular grain silica sand or basalt, is then blown evenly onto the wet epoxy. In just a few hours, the epoxy has fashioned the aggregate into a tough, flexible covering bonded to the road, making it ready for traffic. Prior to the final night of epoxy overlay application, another brush blasting removes foreign material accumulated on the roadway from the day's traffic. Then, the final layer of Type 3 DOT epoxy overlay is applied to the surface. The time savings realized through the use of this exclusive system is significant. In the 1980s, the repair of the I-135 flyover took 2 years using conventional concrete resurfacing methods and often caused long periods of stopped and diverted traffic on this critical artery. Now with the Unitex by Dayton Superior Type 3 DOT system, the process took a mere 2.5 months from start to finish without disruption to daytime traffic. Not only does the Type 3 DOT epoxy overlay cure faster, but it's lighter, stronger, and more corrosion resistant than concrete, adding less than 50% of the weight considered standard in concrete resurfacing. Concrete deteriorates under de-icing salts and moisture. When these elements reach the reinforcing steel beneath the road, they can cause corrosion and break the concrete. With the epoxy overlay, a seal is created that is virtually impervious to road salt. This adds bridge safety and longevity to the long list of advantages offered by this unique system. Unitex by Dayton Superior was among the early researchers and developers of polymer overlays. Refined in the lab and in the field, this hybrid technology combines higher tensile elongation with high strength and durability. The system has also undergone extensive lab and field testing by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, KDOT, and many other state and federal agencies. This superior system provides start-to-finish service, project planning assistance, large-scale project capacity, on-site technical support and training, along with a rigorous quality control program. This commitment to product integrity and service allows the Type 3 DOT epoxy overlay to be held in high regard by government agencies and, just as important, by those who travel the roads. Unitex by Dayton Superior is bringing the future of highway maintenance to the surface.